Welcome to part 3 of our 2019 trip aboard the Viking Sea to the Viking Homelands. This part of our journey finds us stopping in Germany, continuing on to Poland, and the last stop in part 3 will be the Baltic state of Estonia. Our first stop would be in Warnemunde. Located on the Baltic Sea, Warnemunde is one of the busiest cruise ports in the world. Warnemunde is little more than a port. In 1323, Warnemunde was purchased by the Hanseatic trading city of Rostock. Rostock is home to the impressive Monastery of the Holy Cross, founded in 1270 by Marguerite, the queen consort of the Danish king Christopher I. It served as a convent for the order of Cistercian nuns for 650 years. It is situated near the grounds of the University of Rostock, the third oldest university in Germany and one of the oldest in Europe. The Monastery of the Holy Cross is now the official church of the university. Rostock was an important city for the Hanseatic Trading League and remained a powerful trading city right up to its fall post-World War II as part of the Russian-Soviet era post-World War II. Leaving Rostock, our bus took us about 9.3 miles west to the city of Bad Doberan. Bad Doberan is home to the impressive Doberan Minster. Doberan Minster was founded in 1171 as an abbey for the order of Cistercian monks. The current church on this site was built and dedicated in 1368 and is considered an excellent example of the High Gothic style of architecture. Despite the site being considered by many at the time to be a very poor site to build anything this large, the monks were convinced to do it by, of all things, a swan. And although the legends vary considerably, I'm going to go with this one, and here it is. A monk was approached by a swan while inspecting the site and was told by the swan to build there in no uncertain terms. The monks heeded the swan's advice and built on the marshy land accordingly. To this day, the church stands strong, albeit with a bit of a musty-smelling interior. As was the custom at the time, the church is the interment site of many important people and nobility, including a couple of kings and Queen Marguerite herself, the founder of the Monastery of the Holy Cross in Rostock, where she lived out the remainder of her days after the murder of her husband Christopher, before reaching her final resting place at Bad Doberan. Leaving Bad Doberan, we were bused to our next stop, the seaside resort town of Heiligendamm. We had the opportunity to walk around and enjoy the seaside resort, take in the sights, and have a little pastry at a local hotel. After Heiligendamm, we were bused to Kongsborg Ost, or East train station, where we would board the Malibahn. The Flam Railway is a narrow gauge 900 millimeter or 2 feet 11 and 7/16 inches gauge that operates a route of 15.4 kilometers, running over about 40 to 45 minutes from Kongsborg to Heiligendamm to Bad Doberan. The trains run this route several times a day with reduced service in the wintertime. The trains used have been and are still all steam trains, with the latest versions having been built as replicas in 1961. In Bad Doberan, the trains run directly through the middle of town and through tree-lined residential streets. With a beautiful sail away that night, we left Warnemunde for our overnight trip to our next port of call, Gdańsk, Poland. With a population of 470,000, Gdańsk is the capital and largest city of the Pomeranian region of Poland. It is Poland's principal seaport to this day and the country's fourth largest metropolitan area. The sister cities of Gdynia and Sopot form a metropolitan area called the Tri-City with approximately 1.5 million in population. As we entered Gdańsk through the old city gate, we could see that Gdańsk was an interesting mix of architecture references to its maritime heritage. The history of the city is a complex one, having periods of Polish and German rule as well as being an autonomous free city. The first reference to Gdańsk as a city referenced it as a fishing and farming community in 997 AD. Archaeologists have evidence that there have been notable settlements in the Gdańsk area since the Bronze Age, as early as 2500 BC. Gdańsk has been an important shipbuilding and trade port since the Middle Ages, and in 1361 it became a member of the Hanseatic Trading League that impacted its economic growth, demographic, and even the urban landscape. Walking through the crowded city center of Gdańsk, it is easy to see that it is one of the most visited cities in Poland, normally receiving about 3.5 million visitors a year. Our final stop on this leg of our journey is to Estonia and the beautiful medieval city of Tallinn. One of the first sites visited in Tallinn was a stop at the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral. The cathedral is named after Alexander Nevsky, a Russian Tsarist prince, and is built in the Russian Orthodox style. Although it is a beautiful structure, it has twice been threatened with demolition due to its Russian Empire heritage. To spite the Estonians, the Russians built the church in the most prominent position in Old Town Tallinn. The building of the Russian Orthodox Cathedral in its position was also an attempt to upstage one of the oldest churches in Tallinn, the once Catholic but now Lutheran St. Olaf's Church, built in the 1200s. The bell tower for St. Olav's retains the record for the highest bell tower in all of Tallinn. Tallinn is the capital and most populous city of Estonia, with a population of about 455,000. Located in the Gulf of Finland in the Baltic Sea, Tallinn is the main financial, industrial, and cultural center of Estonia. Geographically and politically, it is located only 80 kilometers south of Helsinki, Finland. Tallinn received city rights in 1248. However, there is strong archaeological evidence of a human population in the area dating back almost 5,000 years. Because of its location, Tallinn grew into a significant trade hub, especially in the 14th to 16th centuries, as the northernmost member city of the Hanseatic League. Tallinn Old Town is one of the best preserved medieval cities in Europe and is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A climb to the beautiful old Dominican monastery will give you sweeping views of the old town. There is certainly enough to see in Tallinn that you can walk for several hours just taking in the sights and the ambiance of the city. All in all, Tallinn presents with a nothing is rushed kind of laid back feeling and seems to have nowhere near the crowds that Gdansk did. So as we leave Tallinn, I give you a glimpse of the only known Irish pub in town, complete with cold beer, rock and roll music, and an ATM machine in the doorway. Thank you for watching part 3. Please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. We have more content on the way, so stay tuned for more. If you want just a ship tour and dining guide for the Viking Sea, be sure to check out the link above. Thanks again for watching, and happy and safe travels.